Back in the days, I thought that raw veganism would make life simpler. But at first, it actually made my life harder until I learned to overcome these 5 roadblocks that I'm about to share with you in today's video. And definitely make sure to stay till the end because I'm also sharing a roadblock that one of you guys shared under my last poll that I made. And it's one that I had completely forgotten about, but that definitely was such a big one for me. And overcoming that was definitely necessary for me to make raw veganism a lot more accessible and effortless and easy. All right, the first roadblock that most of you guys also voted for is cold weather and lack of sunshine. And this is definitely something that I used to experience too in the beginning. But at this point, I've actually realized that I no longer feel cold, even when it's 0 degree or 1 degree outside, as long as I, of course, dress warmly. But I think it's because I've been on this lifestyle for so long. And after realizing that, I did my research and found out that there is a connection between being on a clean diet for a consistent long amount of time and thermoregulation. So what I found out is that the reason we think a raw vegan diet makes us feel cold is because our body first needs to adapt. Just like when you take a cold shower, the first time you ever do it, it's gonna feel really uncomfortable. But if you've ever taken cold showers on a regular basis, you might have noticed that at one point you didn't even feel any discomfort or very, very little discomfort from doing the cold shower. And it is kind of like that with the raw vegan diet. But also, the longer you are on this lifestyle, the less inflammation you, for example, have, and the more blood flow and circulation starts to happen in your body. Also, your metabolism starts working more efficiently because what inflammation does, it's basically a fire alarm that sends out a lot of energy to help, bring out the toxins from the body and remove them from the system. And that requires a lot of energy from the body. And yes, that does heat up the body, but it's a very inefficient way of heating up the body. So when you lower the inflammation in your body now starts to calm down and relax. Also, your parasympathetic nervous system, if it's relaxed, like I've incorporated a lot of relaxation, yoga, breathing, meditation into my life in the last couple of years. So when your nervous system is relaxed, it can distribute the energy in your body much more efficiently so that your body actually feels really, really warm and cozy and comfortable because there's no waste of energy that goes out unnecessarily. So for me personally, I now have come to a point where I can literally handle the cold so well. I'm sometimes surprised. So I think the biggest key here is just patience and being gentle on yourself, not rushing this process of having to be fully raw right away. But then also, I've been talking about blood flow and circulation, how that improves when the inflammation goes down. So you can also kind of speed that up. You don't have to wait several years to become cleaner in your body, but you can speed that up by just moving more and exercising. And that also creates that internal heat. You create more muscle mass. The more muscle mass you have, the more your body heats up. And from the circulation in the body, you can now also experience more warmth. So that's definitely my biggest tip: patience, exercise, and is there anything else? Oh yeah, and lack of sunshine. So definitely making sure your vitamin D levels are in balance. There are many ways to do that. The optimal one is definitely going out as often as you can, even when there's no sun, but especially when there is sun, because even in the wintertime there is sunshine out sometimes. Even if it's just 10 minutes going out and making sure you're absorbing some of that sunlight, especially on your face, is very, very helpful. But if that's all not possible, then yeah, taking some vitamin D supplement. Personally, I think it's important to find a really, really clean one. The one I use is from Biogena, even though this winter I'm not taking it because I'm just making sure whenever the sun is out, I go out. And I've taken a trip to Florida. I'm going to take a trip to Spain. So that's kind of, I prefer the natural way. But I've had winters where I used to just supplement it because, yeah, when your vitamin D is in check, you're going to feel much better and it's going to be much easier to do this lifestyle. The second roadblock that you guys voted for is emotional eating. And the answer to this one might actually surprise you, but what I have done and what has been the biggest help for me in overcoming that one was just to focus on 1% improvement every day instead of wanting to be at the goal already right now. So instead of wanting to be fully raw right away, still to this day, I decided, okay, I'm taking it super slow. If I have a lot of emotions come up right now that are too much to handle for me, I take some crutches. Just like when you break your leg, you have crutches and you get support to be able to still go from A to B, even though one of your legs is not working. And I think there is, of course, a balance. And I think it's important to know where you want to go and have a clear direction and actively moving towards that and focusing on improving every single day, just making it a tiny little bit more optimal, but not wanting to be there and not wanting to be fully raw right away. So if that means maybe having fruit for breakfast, fruit for lunch, and then a salad and some, steamed potatoes or some steamed vegetables for dinner, or even just a normal everyday cooked meal that, you find most people eat in our society. If that's what you need, then I think that's great. Like, if you are actively working towards where you want to go, then you can be so proud of yourself. We live in a society where emotions don't really have that much space to arise, to come up. And actively creating that habit for yourself and saying, okay, maybe if everyone else isn't doing it, I still am going to do it. I'm still going to take time in my life, set aside time to meditate, to go into nature, and to just slow down in life and be really, really present with the things I'm doing. And if I have some heavy stuff come up, then I'm gentle to myself and I'm allowing myself to use the tools that I need, whatever that is. For some people, that is watching something. For other people, that is to work a lot. And maybe for you, it's the food. And I think that's okay. As long as you're aware of that and you're actively seeing how can I just make it a little bit easier on myself to make the choices that I actually want to make, I think that's awesome. And then the second tip I want to give for emotional eating is to work with your nervous system. So our nervous system has the parasympathicus and the sympathicus. And when we're in the sympathicus, the fight, flight, or freeze mode, when we're in a lot of stress, when we're doing a lot, when we're fearful, that's usually when we're breathing through our mouth, then it's not that easy for us to make healthy, informed choices. Versus when we're in the parasympathetic nervous system state, when we're calm, when we're relaxed, when we're rested, then we're also, first of all, able to digest our food much more easily, and thus we naturally crave things that are easy to digest. But we're also much more likely to act in alignment with our higher self, with our purpose, with our vision of where we want to go. Because we're relaxed, we're trusting life, we're trusting the universal guidance coming from above to lead us into the right directions. And typically, if you have embarked on this raw vegan journey, if you have discovered it, there must be something inside of you tingling, saying, hey, this is the direction I want to go in. So really trusting that that is there for a reason. And when you're relaxed, you will take action towards that. And doing the things that make you feel so good, that make you feel energized, and that'll help you then also create the most amazing things in life. And the third tip I want to give for emotional eating is to have a bigger purpose that goes beyond just you and your body. So for me personally, it's my channel and it's the people here, the community here that is arising from my channel and from us connecting with each other. And I really want to show up as the best version for that. And when I have kids one day, I want to show up as the best mother that I can be. And I just want to be able to create as much impact and positivity for the people around me as I can. Everyone that I come in contact with, not just everyone online, but all the people in real life. I can be of much better service to them when I'm in my highest power and my highest truth, when I'm energized, when I'm fueled up, and when I'm feeling good and healthy and get up energized every morning. So that's kind of the purpose for me. And that is like when I'm in tune with that motivation, then even when I go to cooked food and I consciously choose, okay, I need some crutches right now, I know that that is just a stepping stone for me to, not even have fully raw as the goal, but that is a stepping stone for me to make this a successful, sustainable thing. And as soon as I'm feeling like in alignment again and in my full power again, I can go back to eating fully raw. And it naturally is also happening because that's my purpose. That is part of my identity. It has been kind of ingrained in me so deeply because I've connected with that vision of what I want to create in life and that I need a healthy, strong, vibrant body for that. I have connected with that so much. So find something for you if you're struggling with having that sense of clarity around food. Find something for you that motivates you to step into a healthier, more vibrant version of your body and of your health and of yourself. And what could that be? Maybe it's something that you can create in life that will have impact, that will make this world a lighter and better place. And if you have that and you connect with that daily, then the action of you eating raw foods, it will naturally come through you. The third one is family and friends influencing you, or if you're living with other people who have junk food around, being tempted by that. And that is definitely also something that used to be a big roadblock for me. Now at this point, I think because I have met so many other raw foodists and I no longer feel alone on this path, it's not so much anymore. And that is also my biggest tip. I know I've mentioned it many times, but to really make an effort out of meeting others who are doing the same so that you're no longer feeling alone, because it's a natural instinct within us. It's evolutionary that we want to fit into our tribe, that we want to belong, and we don't want to be an outcast. We don't want to be left out of the group. So when we're doing something different than everyone else around us is doing, than our family, when we're breaking the pattern and we're kind of stepping into another timeline, not doing the same that everyone else is doing, but we're choosing something that's more exciting, more vibrant, more just rich, then there's gonna be resistance, because why would you want to leave your tribe behind? Doesn't make any sense, right? So just to understand that evolutionary, it is so natural to do that. It doesn't even have anything to do with willpower or discipline. It's just an instinct, and then kind of cheating the system by saying, okay, I'm going to find my tribe now. My tribe, we're not living in tribes anymore, but you know what I mean, of the people that I can now, again, evolutionary speaking, belong to. And you don't have to live with these people, but you need to know that they exist, not just online. I mean, the screen and YouTube and everything is amazing, but you need to know that that stuff exists in real life, even if it's just one fruit fest. The very first fruit fest I went to changed so much for me. And I don't even think you need more than that. You just need to see one time, okay, there are other people in real life doing this. And trust me, it's going to be so much better. But if online is all you can do right now, then that's great too. So just make sure you surround yourself with these images, with these visuals as much as you can. YouTube, maybe you can find a community. Speaking of community, I am doing a raw food challenge in January on WhatsApp. And yeah, we're going to come together as a community. We're going to support each other. 7 days, no pressure. It's not about being fully raw, but it is about 1% improvement every single day. So if you want to join, then make sure to send me a message on WhatsApp with the words I am in. I'll add you to the group. But now let's get to the next roadblock, and that one is to find good fruits and vegetables. And that one, I would also say, is for me similar than the first one with the cold weather. I just needed to have patience. I wish someone would have told me that back then, but I just needed to have patience because it is something you learn. It is a skill, like just like playing the piano or playing the guitar. Being able to find good fruit is a skill that you can become better at the more you do it. So the biggest thing for me here was just to not give up, to believe that anything is possible and I can come to a place where no matter where I am, fruit will always find me. It's a mantra that my friend Tumi from Performing Healing taught me. It's basically that wherever you are, you attract good fruit. You're attracting the good stuff. And that is literally like, no matter where in the world I am, for some reason I always manage to find good stuff. And it's definitely something you learn. I think you also need to utilize law of attraction a little bit here. So kind of visualizing yourself eating good fruit and having good fruit. And obviously the more you find good fruit and are in that state of eating good fruit, the more you will attract it. But you need to start embodying that new way of being. So on a practical level, find new opportunities, brainstorm what are 10 ways that you can find fruit where you are right now. Maybe there's a farmer's market, maybe there are different stores, write out all the different stores you have. Maybe you can order something online, maybe you even have a warehouse or a wholesaler. Write it all down, check all of them out. You don't have to go to every single thing every single time. And then evaluate, where am I consistently getting the best stuff? And then just go there. And then it doesn't take much time. Like, takes me, I don't know, 45 minutes maximum per week to go out and buy the food, and then I'm back again. So of course, depends where you live. If you live more rural, then it might take longer. But yeah, knowing where the good stuff is and then keep coming back, because most places have the same supplier over and over again. So not that difficult. But especially with finding fruit, I have found that incorporating the manifestation aspect into it is so powerful, because the universe wants you to be happy. It wants you to thrive and live in abundance and have more than you need and have a joyful life. So when you truly connect with the universe and you embody that version that eats delicious fruit every day, that thrives, that deserves all of this goodness, then you will naturally attract that. And especially with fruit, I've found that if you've ever wondered about manifestation, like, some things are not as easy to manifest because you literally need to change matter, right? It's, you know, you need to visualize and embody that over and over again. But with fruit, I found that that is kind of a lot easier to put into matter from the mind world, from the 4D world, the 5D world, to put that into the 3D world. It's a lot easier to do that than with, let's say, manifesting money or manifesting a partner. That takes sometimes time, doesn't have to, but you need to like repeat it over and over again. Versus with fruit, it's something that we all are designed to be eating, so it comes to us a lot more effortlessly when we truly utilize the skill of manifestation. So maybe even making a vision board of delicious fruit. Like in my room, I have a vision board of delicious fruits, and I look at it every single day, and I visualize myself eating the most incredible papayas, the most ripe and sweet persimmons, the most crunchy and just wholesome apples. And yeah, that seriously, biggest game changer. Don't even try doing anything on the outside, just do that and the fruit will come to you. So yeah, a little bit of a woohoo excursus. And now the last one is not something I put into the poll, but it's something that one of you guys wrote in the comments, and that is the cost of fruit. And that one I can definitely also relate, because when I started raw food, I was 18 or 19 years old, so quite young. I had a lot of money saved up because I've been doing jobs since I was 13, but obviously I was traveling back then. I didn't want to spend it all, and yeah, I was kind of like trying to save. So honestly, wasn't a good place to be in and to be successful with this lifestyle. So my biggest tip is to get creative and find ways, how can I make money? How can money can come into my life? And being in your day job is one single opportunity of making money, one single one. So for me, everything changed when I started making lists regularly of different ways that money can come into my life, and have the goal, write at least 30 ways that money can flow into your life, and open up all these channels. And especially if you're eating raw food, like I've mentioned several times in my channel already, that when you eat raw food, you are opening those channels, you're clearing those channels, you are so connected to the universal guidance. And the most successful people in life, like Nikola Tesla, Albert Einstein, Adele, many really, really great musicians, say that their success comes back to their connection to the universal guidance, to the spirit, to God, to the force that created everything around us. Whether you're into spirituality or whether you are believing in God or not. I'm personally not a religious person, but I do definitely believe that there is a higher power that is guiding us and that wants us to feel really, really good. So when you connect with that power, you will find that there is infinite abilities. And I think that that is a much more easy way to make it sustainable and successful than to try and save money on fruit. Because from that state, you're in a lack mentality. And when we're not in an abundance mentality, we are not attracting abundance, but we attract lack, because we attract the inner state that we're in. So yeah, I think it's much more powerful to just see, okay, how can I make more money? Or what I used to do in the very beginning, how can I free up money that I'm spending for fruit expenses? So since I'm 18, I didn't buy a car. I could have, would have been nice, would have been very convenient. I could have not relied on planes and trains and public transport so much. I'm very blessed that it's possible where I live without a car. But yeah, I was like, I'm just going to take the bike to the supermarket. I'm going to get a bike trailer and make it happen. And then all the money that I'm saving on not having a car, I can now spend on fruit. And I'm not saying you have to sell your car or not have a car, but where are you expending money where you wouldn't need to? Or if fruit and raw food is a priority, how can you shift that? Or if those two options, like seeing how you can make more money or how you can free up money that you're spending, are not available to you right now, then saving money and really just having a very consistent routine. Apples, bananas, oranges, and then in the summer, whatever berries or fruits are in season. When you focus on the seasonal stuff, you can make it happen not too expensively. Yeah, you will have to dial down a little bit on, the more exotic, higher water content things, have that a little bit more rarely. But even if you just have a banana smoothie for breakfast every day and then a little bit of fresh fruit, as a snack, and then, having something like a big salad, or, maybe if you really want to save money, going back to things like sweet potatoes, rice, just keeping it high carb is a possibility to still get you somewhat close to the results that you can get on a raw food diet. But of course, my biggest tip is, how can you make more money? And there are so many, I don't feel called to be teaching how to make more money. I don't know, I just feel like that's not my purpose in life. But there are a lot of great people, like Lewis House, for example, or if you're from Germany, Laura Marlina Seiler. They make great content about how to manifest wealth. So if you're interested in that, then I definitely highly recommend it. But yeah, also, how can you free up money that you're just spending unnecessarily? If you now want to dive deeper into the topic of emotional eating, then make sure to check out this video.